Hello, I'm Zoe Ringwood. I'm the Landscape Conservation Area Manager for South West Essex, and today I'm up on the North Essex coast in an area known as Hanford Water, and behind me is Skipper's Island, which has got to be the most remote Essex Wildlife Trust reserve. There's no public access, but today we've come here at low tide and we're going to walk across to the island because we're doing a survey of two very special species that are found on the island, and that's Hogs Fennel and Fisher's estuarine moth. So here we are on Skipper's Island amongst the Hogs Fennel. Now Hogs Fennel, it's the sole caterpillar food plant of Fisher's estuarine moth. So it flies in September, October time, and during that time the female will then lay her eggs on grasses close to a Hogs Fennel plant. So she usually gives the caterpillars a good head start by laying her eggs within about 2 meters of a food plant, and she lays her eggs on coarse grasses. And now these are grasses such as couch, cocksfoot and false oak grass. And what the female will do is she finds a suitable bit of grass and she chooses grasses that have got this sort of shape, so they have a loose outer leaf sheath, and she'll deposit her eggs beneath the stem and the outer leaf sheath. So the moth is in the egg stage for about 7 months of the year, so from September, October through till the following April. Now when the eggs hatch, the first task that the caterpillar must successfully achieve in order to survive is to make the migration from the stem of grass to the Hogs Fennel plant. Now when the caterpillars get to the plant, they bore in as they're stem borers, and they tend to go in at a stem axil of the plant, and so we've got some signs here. So here the caterpillar has bored in at the stem axil and it's been feeding within the stem of Hogs Fennel. So they feed within the stems throughout April, May and June, and then from July onwards they will bore into the rootstock of Hogs Fennel, and this is when you get these very distinctive frass volcanoes. Now frass is basically a technical term for insect poo. So it's feeding down within the rootstock and then it's pushing up its excrement and it's forming as what we term as a frass volcano at the base of Hogs Fennel. And this is a really distinctive feeding sign, and this is what we've been monitoring today. So we've been going around, we've been randomly selecting Hogs Fennel plants and just looking to see if they've got these larval feeding signs. Now the caterpillar, it will pupate between the rootstock of Hogs Fennel and the surrounding soil. And then come sort of September, October, it will push its way back up out of the soil, crawl up onto a Hogs Fennel plant, and it will sit there and it will pump up its wings. And if it's a female, she'll pump up her wings. She'll then crawl up to usually near a flower head of Hogs Fennel, and she'll start emitting pheromones, and she usually gets mated on the first night of emergence. So here we are on the northeast corner, and we're standing here by a breach in the sea wall which illustrates the sheer power of the sea. This just breached earlier this year in May, and we've got salt marsh establishing behind the sea wall, and this area was just last year, it was rough grassland with Hogs Fennel. So last year this would have been a sea of yellow flowers in July, supporting many Hogs Fennel plants and Fisher's estuarine moth. But this is a natural process. We knew this was going to happen, and it's part of the vulnerability of a low-lying island. And so we've been preparing for this for quite a few years now, and we've been establishing new areas for Hogs Fennel and Fisher's estuarine moth inland on higher on higher ground where the species can be secure from the threats of flooding and we can secure their long-term future in the UK. So we finished our survey on Skipper's Island and we're just about to make our way across to the mainland. I just thought I'd let you know that the survey went really well. We had 54% of the Hogs Fennel plants with signs of the moth's larval feeding, which is a really good result. And just to say, we've had a fantastic afternoon over here. It's always great to come over to Skipper's Island. It's such a special place. And I'd like to thank Leon Woodrow, who's a volunteer warden over here, for accompanying me today and for helping with the survey. It's been a really positive afternoon.